A look at the attachment would also be good when you get a chance. No hurry.
I'm done if you want to zoom.
I can push in a bit there on the
And I think somebody wants to get
another
the
angle of the
attachment, if that's
double-headed.
possible.
Yeah, roger.
Okay, yeah, first time we've seen it on this expedition, but no need to collect.
What is it?
Calophagus, I believe. That's what Chris said. Let's see if I can find that.
Go full zoom for a second there, Steve. Just for fun.
I think they wanted to see where they branch.
They do.
So if we could get a little tilt.
There also seems to be some smaller white organisms in there living on the stalk. Do you see it?
Yeah, the little puffball thing.
Oh.
Yeah, on the right-hand side of the stalk, close to the inside and the interior. Looks
a
like
little spider on
yeah, a
it
little
too.
spider.
Yeah, now he's moving.
Oh, we're grossing out the pilot here.
He's coming for you,
Steady,
Dan.
Dan.
He's coming for you. He's coming your
Spider
direction.
dance here in a minute.
Yep.
Zoom out just a bit, Steve. I think they want the branch or the stalk.
And
Where they split?
our viewers are on fire today. Someone's calling this the earbud sponge.
I like that.
Totally.
Okay.
Is that all the way in there, is it?
Full zoom.
Roger.
Well, that's nice. We got a good look at it. We've never seen this on this expedition, but apparently it has been cataloged before.
Yep. Let's look at the rest of the ridge here. A lot of sponges out here.
Roger. Do you guys care about the base here, or are you good?
I think we're good.
I think we're okay.
Roger.
Can we move 100 meters bearing 135?
Hold on, Kate. Let me get sorted out here.
Do you want me to stop the move?
Yeah.
Ridge nav.
I don't quite have my bearings yet. Sorry.
Can you hold that move for just a brief second?
We get our Argus Herc ducks in a row here, and then we can.
Roger.
Yeah.
Thanks
So
for
it's,
joining.
it's one of these guys, but just two-headed.
Huh.
Well, never have I ever.
Yeah, never have I ever. Pretty awesome.
Yeah. Thanks so much, viewers, for tuning in, whether you're on nautiluslive.org or on one of our other platforms. We do appreciate your questions, and we also appreciate all the teachers and students that are checking in with us.
Look up just a bit, Gummy.
Excited to have you here. Let us know what questions you have for our team as we continue on this watch.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah, that's
Three-headed.
exactly. Three-headed,
wow.
yeah.
Let's try 20 meters to the east.
To the east.
Yes, please.
Ridge nav. Can we move 20 meters bearing 090?
I should put Argus behind us, and then we can roll up.
Is that a coral behind us or a sponge? That tall, is that a...
It looks like a coral.
It's a coral.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't tell if it's the trident.
It looks like it's the trident coral, which is interesting because when we had a lot of sponges is when we noticed for the first time the trident coral.
Can we get a quick zoom on the at the top of that coral there?
Yeah, Roger. Go ahead, see if you can push in a little bit there. That's good.
Looks like a bamboo, but it's different than the other ones that we saw that were branching,
a little
had
more.
that central branch. That's why we're calling it a trident. That node there at the top where it divides into 3.
And beautiful, healthy polyps.
That's a nice one.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Pretty.
As soon as he is done or about done, then you can start him moving on your 135-ish.
Copy. Bridge, nav. Can we move 100 meters, bearing 135? 135.
Got a question from a viewer. Does anything eat these sponges, or are they just not very tasty?
I almost ate one last night. One of our...
That was a sponge cake, Dan.
Yeah, that's different. That's a different thing.
One of our pilots likes to collect dead things and leave them on the ROV workbench. That they find bits and pieces left over from the scientists, and I picked up a rag and wiped my hands and then wiped my mouth and got to feel and taste sponge spicules and
how was
hydraulic
it?
oil at the same time.
Would you recommend it?
No, I would
Okay.
definitely not
No.
recommend it.
Not tasty. The verdict is not tasty. Wow, that is so lovely. It's a yellow crinoid on top of a sponge.
Day glow crinoid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like it's placed on its head, like a little flower on top.
Whip corals.
Yep. And last time when we were in the Candyland, we would see these whipped corals with all the sponges as well. When you get high densities of the sponges, you seem to get high densities of these.
So we have a viewer noticing something that looks like sticks or bones among the rocks. We think that those are dead sponges. We call them their skeletons. You can see one there on the right.
Yeah.
I'm going to slow him down to 0.3.
Bridge, nav. Can we slow down to 0.3 knots?
This is a very cool feature.
Yeah.
So since there is no plant life at this depth because there's no light for photosynthesis, a viewer wants to know, does that mean that all life forms that we're seeing here are carnivorous? Is it possible that sponges are carnivorous? I think we're blowing some minds out there in listener land. Would you call these sponges carnivorous?
I think we would call them filter feeders.
They're filter feeding, but
They're heterotrophs.
what they're filter feeding on is a mix of, the marine snow is a mix of dead animals and their waste products. So not strictly carnivorous.
Would you call them more omnivorous? Or
That's probably more appropriate if they're eating little bits of poo, and I'd say that's omnivorous.
it's a hard way to make a living.
Isn't there I've heard the scientists mention a carnivorous sponge.
Yeah, I was just reading a little bit about that.
Whoa, look at that guy.
Getting several species here.
See, that's sponges on a ridge
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
Argus view.
Yep. It's a great shot from Argus.
Okay, I take it back. It is a ridge.
It is now.
It is now.
And here's another one of those very large ear sponges, and the largest ones we saw tended to be jutting out
Yeah,
from
that's true.
a cliff and not up from the bottom.
Yep.
There's a black coral down there too.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Yeah,
it.
we were looking for some possible zooms on black coral a while ago. I'll check the chat to see.
Yeah,
I think we're...
if possible. But this is not, oh, so the black coral's behind the
Yeah.
precious coral. Yeah. That's
You can push in a bit there if you want, Steve.
And then there's another squat lobster on top of I think a zoanthid.
hard to see
That is
that.
at the bottom of the ear. Right there he is. Hello. Here he comes. There he goes.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Look down with your camera. So
Is that a vase sponge up there, that big one? Or no, a giant macaroni sponge?
Oh, and there's another Venus
Bring 'em
flytrap
up.
anemone.
Oh, yeah.
bring them stop for a minute there, Kate.
Good,
I'm not
Nav.
sure where I am.
I'll stop.
What dot am I?
About right here. Hold on, I'm waiting for the next ping though. Argus is jumping around.
Where are there?
Here. I'm going to reset you.
Where are
I
there?
wonder if there's a way, too, that we could plot a line through this ridge and say that it is the strike of this ridge is high-density sponges. I don't know if there's something like that we can put on the map.
A series of targets would kind of illustrate that.
Okay, good.
So if you want to learn more about that carnivorous sponge, it's called the harp sponge. You can look that up. There are articles from Mbari and others online. And it digests little critters that land on its arms. It's the stuff of nightmares. Thanks so much for your questions, friends. Keep them coming. We have another about 15 minutes on this watch. And then we will be handing over to our friends on the 4 to 8 watch who will take you through another 4 hours of exploration.
Yeah, I'm gonna come up a little faster there. Should get on. I'll get on the other side of you.
We appreciate you joining us, and we do appreciate your questions. Thanks for tuning in. Keep those questions coming. If we don't get to them on this watch, we will hand them off to our friends joining us here in the next little bit.
What is that directly in front of us? What is that?
It looks like
What is
a
this?
sponge skeleton, maybe.
Or a very dark colored.
And do a
Or is it a zoanthid?
30-meter bump south.
Can we zoom in on that?
Can we zoom in on this?
Bridge, Nav.
Oh, yeah, it looks like
Can
the one
move
that we...
30 meters bearing 180?
Let's see.
It resembles the wall of zoanthids
I
that we
think it
saw.
could be a black coral.
Pink
If
something.
so,
pretty
it's
black.
huge.
Lobster?
Wow.
It is a black
Black
coral,
coral,
I think.
pink lobster.
Can we get lasers on for a moment, please?
That's a big black coral.
It's beautiful.
That's an old timer, maybe.
You want them on?
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm going to be careful around that guy. It has at least 3 squat lobsters occupying.
I wonder why they're all pink.
Are lasers on? Yeah, just to get a size estimate on this
Yeah,
black
sorry,
coral. That's okay.
I'm gonna swing around here where I can find a perch.
Yeah, just wanted to get a shot with the lasers on so that we can do some size estimates. Those lasers
Come
are 10
down,
centimeters apart.
If you're not already. Come down a little. Oh, you're kind of low. Never mind.
Telepathies.
Come down. Come down a little bit. Give me some leash there, 'cause I'm spinning around.
You can see at the base there where it's attached to the rockets, it's black. That's why it's called a black coral, because the skeleton, the inside structure is black. The flesh of the polyps is this
You want the
rust
lasers
color.
off now?
Yes, please. Thank you.
How do we feel about sampling a branch with a pink squat lobster on it?
I feel good about it. Right.
Right.
A good spot.
So we want
So
the branch and the lobster?
yeah, let's see here.
Need some pruning there. So.
Let's see. Depending on the size, we got A and B open for starboard for the smaller ones. We got E and F also open, and we got the forward bio box.
You want to get a close-up there before we do?
Yeah.
Snip.
Yeah.
Okay, push it a
Thinking
bit,
maybe that
Steve.
lower branch that has the lobster on it.
I'm not sure if he was using that just to, yeah, they want both,
Wow, they're spiky.
the branch and
Zoom out
the
just a
lobster.
bit, Steve. That's good.
Gosh, that
Yes.
lobster is really cool.
Not a common black coral.
It looks like it's got polyps on the stalk as well.
Oh, good spot. On the main stalk. Oh, and maybe on the branch.
These
Oh,
are
yeah,
all-
on the branch
They
as
all
well.
look closed right now, don't they?
Yeah. What a color combo there.
Gorgeous. Can we get lasers on real quick to see the size?
They're at the top of the frame.
Ah, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, there is interest in the lobster from another scientist as well as the coral. So hopefully stay on for the ride. So what's easiest for you, Dan, the lower branch or the upper one?
This one's going to be all gabby, but the lower one for sure. With
Gabby,
it's
yeah.
sticking out
Okay.
at a nice angle there.
Let's go for the forward biobox A too.
So Chris says the lobster will likely try to jump off right before putting it in the box. So you need to be sneaky, pretending nothing is going on.
Yes, be
Very, very quiet.
very, very quiet.
Oh, no,
push it
nothing
a
to
bit
see
there,
here.
Abnormal is happening.
That's
I'm
good.
just sort of carrying my branch around.
Oh, so great.
Set your grip force to 3. 3 beans.
What sample number is this?
This is going to be 133.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you might want to kick your yaw to the left a little so you can see the jaws a little more. There you go.
Yeah, just doing a little coral maintenance here.
Is that lobster small enough to go in the slurp?
Yeah, can we slurp the lobster first?
Yeah, yes. That would be
Might be a higher probability selection.
Of getting them. Well, we could try
How
this
do you
first
guys
and
feel
slurp
about
another if it doesn't work.
Oh, true, there is.
Unless he tells the buddies to
Here's where the fates come in.
Oh,
hang on there, buddy. It's fine.
Do a little rotate to make sure you got it. Oh, you got it.
Nothing to see here.
Nicely done.
Yeah, just come for a little ride.
Oops, sorry, wrong button.
Forward, yay.
I find myself leaning to try to make it get in there.
Full wide.
Left side, it looks like.
Yeah, yeah, port, sorry.
Oh.
I got it.
There we go, little guy. Oops.
Oh.
Yeah, if you open there, it should drop in.
Get down.
You'll have to close a little to get out of the box. Yeah, swing your azimuth to the right. Close your jaws a little here. Grab again. Grab, grab, grab. Close your jaws. There you go. Now push it back down it.
Still on.
Swing azimuth right. I'll bring it to you. Get ready to grab it.
Could the other arm possibly be useful here?
No.
At Mongo.
You're on the back of the box, Gabby. You need to be on the forward part of the box. So that make the manipulator hit the front of the box. Is it? Roger. How about a really slow wrist spin? If you, well, it looks, see the bottom of the jaws are like halfway in. So if you kick the yaw to the right. There you go. Now maybe a slow wrist spin. I could try and get the other arm out. It's probably... All right, well, let's try it. And then get the left arm out and pin it. As I suspected, the other arm is not helpful. See if I can get this guy in there.
Oh, Mongo.
It says Mongo. Okay, let's pin.
Are the thrusters creating that current, or is it just,
Yes, they are.
can we turn those off?
See if I can hold on before you let go. Yeah, ready. Maybe get a, oh, I don't know if it's holding it. Maybe you let go and grab it here and on the other side of Magnum. Grab the one right closest to the camera there. Or just do the push it in. Just keep your jaws closed and push the branch down in maybe, yeah? Okay, I'll be quiet. Okay, you want me to get that monster out of there now? I'd say a re-poke. No, I'd get off it and just brush it down in. You're not. You're gonna have to re-grab or you're gonna lose it. I'll bring it back to you.
Are the starboard big boxes bigger than these forward ones?
Get ready to grab.
Hold on, buddy.
So for our listeners, we're trying to complete this very difficult collection here of this black coral. We are at watch change, but trying to complete this before we hand over. That's why you're not hearing much talking here.
I'm floating now, so you got one more chance to put that thing in the box. Put it in the box. See if you can quickly get off of it and stab it down in there before it floats away. You have to re-grab it, Gabby. Grab it in the middle. That's a grab. Yeah.
That lobster is so excited right now.
Freedom.
Whee! Oh.
Hold on. Hold on. Open your jaws. That's what you
Wow.
wanted.
Good catch.
Okay, hold what you got there for a second, Gabby.
A viewer is reminding everyone in the van to breathe. We all need to breathe. Thanks, viewer.
Had to chase that one almost as far as we had to chase the last item we were chasing. That lobster is not letting go. Man, just hold what you got. I gotta come back down to the seabed. Well, now we have it where we want it. It'll go right into the box. Move it over the box now while we're coming back down. Just make sure you don't open your jaws though. That way, if the lobster jumps off, at least we'll have a chance there. I think you've got it where you want it now, Gabby. Let me come down and perch here somewhere. Yeah, but I want to be able to come down and float up again as you. Okay, yeah, I'll close the box a little, see what happens. Ready?
That's it, then stuff it under the lid like she's doing right now. That'll do it.
Can you get your snaggle teeth out of there? Are they aligned properly? Okay, floating up again.
Go close. Yes.
Nice job, you guys.
You got it.
Great.
What an epic battle. Human against
Fabulous.
squat lobster.
With that, I think I need to go lie down somewhere. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh. Oh, well, friends.
I have no idea where the vehicle is. It was here, and we were headed that way. You good?
All right.
Great job.
All right, friends
Nicely
out there in
done, Gabby.
Viewerland. This is your
Nicely
12 to 4 shift, which was certainly an eventful one. We are signing off and handing over to the 4 to 8. Thank you so much for joining us, and there'll just be a brief pause here while we swap out the remaining chairs. And wherever you are, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, and your 12 to 4 we'll see you next time. But for right now, we're going to continue exploration with your 4 to 8.
Whew. Well, Team Sponge is in the house now. Hui Huakai. We're all about the sponges. So was was this one, Chris?
Excuse me?
Chirostylinae Europticus?
Yes, Europticus.
Europticus.
New species, that's what the N period means.
I don't know. So there was only one others of those collected before.
Yeah, and it was a bear collecting that one because we tried multiple times on various dives and they always jumped off the coral before we got it in the box. And so there are a couple reasons why I basically called up from my room and asked them to try for this. And number one is that the actual coral was larger, and so we might be able to fool them. But also the black coral is sort of a very unusual black coral. It's a member of the Telepathes group, genus. There's one shallower one that I collected around 350 meters years ago, and then I've only ever seen one deep one that I also took a piece of in the main Hawaiian Islands, if I remember correctly, also at a shallower depth than this one.
Yeah.
So all I know is that it was used to help describe the genus, but I don't think the species has a name at all yet, and so this was a good black coral to collect, and then we also needed one of these other specimens of the squat lobster. I think that we had a special request from one of the arthropod experts for one of these as well.
Yeah.
So that was a good collection. It was worth the battle. We've seen a lot of these little pink squat lobsters on on this cruise, but they were all on corals that had been well sampled before, so I was a little reluctant, because the only way you're ever going to get them, they'll freeze themselves and will not suck into the suction tube. We used to try that. The only way to get them is to fool them by clipping the leaf or the coral is on. You don't want to leave it and then take both of them.
Oh, yeah, that was quite miraculous.
Yeah,
miraculous harvest.
Right.
Sacrifice to science.
Excuse me? Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, we have our back row science guys here for Hui Huakai, Team Sponge, in the house. We're all feeling a little adrenaline, post-adrenaline rush.
So, pilots, can you let me know when you're ready to strategize?
Yeah, stand by.
Sure.
Do you want to do our protocol first?
Sure, that would be fine.
So good afternoon to everybody in the control van and our viewers following us on nautiluslive.org. This is your watch 4 to 8
Where are we
Hawaiian Standard Time.
Okay. Looks like there. Okay, so I'm gonna, that means I want to go this way. At least just get set up in a safe situation, and then we can do our protocol and go on with our day. All right, you can follow me to port as I come around here. Then as we sit for the protocol, we could do a reset. Or I guess after I've sat. All right. Okay, I'm going to hold here, and then once we're done the thing, we can see where the cloud is. Sound good? Okay. This is not right.
I'm going to clear my trails so it'll
Yeah, roger.
shine up while we're doing protocol. Okay.
Big breath. Okay, ROV is ready, finally.
Okay, great. So to our viewers out there, at this time we will be going radio silent to conduct a private ceremonial protocol to acknowledge and honor the biocultural resources that are present and we are interacting with and impacting. We will be back shortly on SPL. Thank you.
You guys ready to go off? Yeah.
Okay. So, Aaron, would it be possible to zoom out just a little bit in high pack when you get a chance?
Sure, one sec.
Sure.
Trevor, do you want to go out of autos or is it, you're okay? Okay.
I'm just resetting DVL, Chris, and then we could chat.
Great, thank you.
How about there? Okay, we're ready.
Okay, so we've got about 2 hours, is that correct? Because I think we're supposed to be on the surface at 8 o'clock?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, do you think we'd be able to make a sort of a fast push toward the summit?
Let's see, the real proper summit that's all the way down here?
Yeah. Oh, where is it? Wow, it's...
There?
Oh, that is a ways. How about at least up onto that red area, the really steep part of the ridge that we're on right now? Yeah, a little bit further up, right
Here?
there, yeah.
Well, that's 500 meters. The end itself is a little over a kilometer. What do you think? What can we do in 2 hours?
Well, I was thinking we could zip over this kind of flat terrace that we're about to come on, because those are typically a little...
Yeah, I think we can haul as fast as we can and as fast as you want and see where we get to.
Okay, sounds good.
So you wanna zoom up this and then
maybe
head to
yeah,
that?
maybe slow up on that steep part once we get to it.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
All right, I'll have you come right up this slope, yeah? Okay. All right, so we're looking at about 130. Bridge nav. Can we get a 20 meter step bearing 130? Thank you.
All right, well, good afternoon, everybody in Hawaii, and good morning, good evening, good early morning, wherever you are tuning in from. We are Hui Huakai Team Sponge, and we are your 4 to 8 shift, and we're on Euphemia Seamount, southeast of Laysan, or Kauai Island, quite a bit, and this is quite an interesting steep seamount, or it's not a geo, so it doesn't have a flat top. And we've been operating fairly shallow for this expedition. But right now we're at 1,800 meters, so that's about the range that we've been operating in. I think we started shallow and went up to the top and came down some. Is that right, Chris?
I think so. That sounds right.
We've definitely been seeing some diversity on this one that we haven't seen before. Definitely saw a lot of a lot of anemones and higher density of anemones than we've seen. At least that's one of my observations. Sure. And that black coral and squat lobster that we just collected with great effort. So some other new species on this seamount. And Chris has created the dive plan for the seamount. So what do you think so far, Chris?
It was a bit dry in the beginning, and we kind of repositioned and are coming up a different ridge here, and we got a little bit more stuff. I've been watching down in the room quite a bit.
Go ahead and zoom on the fish.
Kumba.
Yeah, there you go. It looks like it's right next to a Dactyocalix. This is Kumba, exactly.
Seen quite a few of these little fish.
Yeah, they're pretty distinctive. They're really the only sort of tiny little black
shrimp.
rat tail like that.
Yeah, they have a very distinctive long dorsal fins is one of the criteria of that species, right? It's kind of longer than, it's kind of indicative of that species.
$1,800 meters deep. That's how deep we are. That's why we're not moving yet. I'm not heavy, no. I am light.
What's going on here? My keyboard is unresponsive. Let's see here.
Yeah, so these seamounts that we're looking at intersect the Hawaiian archipelago or the Hawaiian Ridge formation seamounts. And as many of you know, the Hawaiian Islands were formed from a hot spot underneath the just off of the coast of the Big Island right now. It's still very active. It creates Kilauea volcano and is forming new volcanoes on that island. Has formed all of the Hawaiian archipelago as well as the Emperor Seamounts going all the way up to Kamchatka, Alaska, at least 80 million years of volcanic activity. But this seamount chain kind of intersects it at an angle coming up from the south and extending into the north. And this was also a hotspot, we think, formation, but much earlier. So these may have been Cretaceous era seamounts, which is one of the questions we're trying to answer on this expedition, exactly how old they are, but we're thinking around 80 to 100 million years old. And so we're collecting rock samples to look at that, an argon dating process to look at the age of these seamounts. That's a beautiful sponge. That's what is that one, Chris?
It's Poliopogon, but we call it Poliopogon holy. It doesn't have the sieve plates over it like some of the species do.
Yeah, and you could really see the attachment structure. So the sponges down here have two kind of different approaches. One is to glue themselves to the rock, and the other is to use these kind of hook-like filaments or hairs at the bottom. I forget the name of those. What's the technical term for those at the bottom?
These are basalia is what they call them. They're modified spicule, and that type of attachment is referred to as lophophytus attachment.
Lophophytus attachment, that's what I was searching for, which is very, very sturdy. We've seen several of these that have even attached to rocks that are just a little bit too small, and it actually pulls the, oh, we have a can.
Garbage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's our first can, isn't it? What is that?
For this watch, yes.
We haven't seen much. We've seen a net. We've seen some other small debris, but not a can. A can is kind of indicative that there was some traffic through here. They typically don't travel too far. It's really great that we haven't seen a lot of marine debris on these islands, these atoll.
How long would a can take to disappear?
Never.
Yeah, aluminum cans can last for, I don't know, 100 years or more.
I've never seen one in some state of decomposition. They all look like they were dropped overboard yesterday.
Yeah.
It's something about, I don't understand.
It's they often have a plastic coating over the.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, in addition to the aluminum.
I was gonna say because aluminum doesn't last very long.
Yeah, something's going on. Those cans always look sprightly.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris, what was the pink lobster called? The one on the black coral that was collected?
Well, it's at the moment it's known as Europtychus new species. And there's only one specimen that's ever been collected to my knowledge. And it was here, and it was in 2018 off of this ship.
Oh.
And it was a bear to get these guys, to get one of these.
And why is it pink?
What's that?
Why is it pink? The crab?
I don't know why it's pink. It's just some compound in its carapace there or something. That
I noticed one of the sponges had like a pink tinge to it too.
Yeah.
And I'm noticing a lot more pink organisms.
Yeah, no idea. It's just how, there is no light here. This isn't anything that's presumably signaling between species or anything. It's just the way that some chemical in their bodies is reflecting artificial light that we're providing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite beautiful, and those anemones were pink, and we saw some other pink crustaceans, and that larger lobster that was the living fossil. What was the name of that one? Again, the larger.
Polychelid, and there's Homerion asper.
Yeah, that was really neat. We saw that earlier this morning.
So we've got some comments from Jeremy Horowitz in Australia about the black coral. He's somebody researching this group, and I'm waiting to see what he's got to say. I informed him a little bit about my opinion on this. I've only seen one of these colonies before. It's extremely tall, but it's branched off of the main branch. Most Bathypathes, you don't see that happen. They more look like plumes,
Yeah,
but
large hanging.
Yeah, this one is very, very tall, and that caught my eye when I was watching downstairs. Okay, let's see.
Couple bamboo corals coming up on single, unstalked, unbranched.
Yeah, he's not sure it's telepathies. He's going to do some genetic work, and he's basically saying bathopathies and telepathies are so closely related from a molecular standpoint. He thinks it's a good specimen, I think, just because this isn't well known, and just because we don't know the boundaries between those two genera. And yeah, in fact, when I first collected a piece of one, and again, it's the only one that I've ever seen like this before, years ago. I think it was 2007 or something. We had it in our database as a branch bathopathes for a really long time, until one of Dennis Apresco's students, Mercer Brugler, I think he recovered it from the Smithsonian or something like that, and he took a look at it, and then he started working on these supposed branched bathopathes and came up with telepathies. And then Jeremy, that was probably morphology. I can't remember whether Mercer was doing genetics, but now Jeremy, I think, is they have new tools right now to try to figure all this out.
How are we doing on push cores? This looks like a potential push core.
We're not doing any push cores.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not doing any push cores.
We are not doing any
that right
push
down.
cores.
That was very clear.
Slap, slap, slap.
Jeez, Andy.
Oh
What
my
the heck are you
gosh.
thinking, Andy? Push core?
Well,
Sound
the
like
only
we
reason...
How about a suck up that
No,
cucumber?
Sorry, for one thing, we want to make tracks. We only got 2 hours left in this
All
dive.
right,
But
all right.
Secondly, Beth already, this is not me cutting Beth out. Beth said no more push cores this morning.
That's clear.
Right.
She's sick of them, eh?
She's had as much samples as she can afford to process from what she told me, so I think we're pretty good. All right.
Sorry, that was a little
I was just
abrupt.
so
I know it was a little abrupt.
I was so excited by Trevor's push core expertise last night.
I got it in 2. That's
You
what they call
did.
expertise.
That was
Getting it the second try.
genius.
In fact, for tomorrow's dive plan, you'll notice, Trevor, that push cores are taken out of the first page table.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I will do that then.
So we have a question for our pilots. What
Yeah,
do
hit
you
me with a-
mean when you ask for more delta?
Huh.
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
What do you mean when you ask for more delta?
So that's basically the measurement of the this vertical distance between Argus and Herc. We try to manage the tether between Argus and Herc to keep it kind of nice and, not too taut, because if it's really under tension, it'll pull on Herc, and not too loose because we don't want it to get wrapped up in anything. And so depending on the relative positions of the vehicles, we'll manage the delta by winching up and down. So if the tether is really spread out and Herc and Argus are far away, we'll come down in delta. So there's less vertical distance between them. If their vehicles are right on top of each other, we'll come up on delta so that we don't have a lot of tether hanging around that could get caught on something. So that's basically what it means.
Oh, thank you, Antonella.
So we're moving pretty fast upslope. I just want to get a feel for what our capabilities are. So if we see something well enough in advance, is that possible? Or
we were thinking that we were going to zip up to this plateau and then we can move slower, but we've got several big moves in and we're pretty laid back. But once we get to the top, we can slow it right down.
Exactly. That's great. That's all I need to know. Thank you.
I think that's probably just this one final move. We're halfway through and then we'll be settled out and that'll be all happy.
Yeah, no problem. There's no rush. I was sort of trying to get this, what the protocol was going to be in advance.
Yeah, roger.
But always is your dive, so